no good seasonal professional working camper would pass up an opportunity to hit the Lodge, let's be backwards, the Lodge factory outlet in Pittsburgh, Tennessee at the actual Lodge factory. I picked up a griddle for stovetop since I got rid of my, what do you call that? Blackstone. Got rid of my Blackstone. So I picked up this griddle to go on top of my little Coleman stove, 2-burner that I've had forever. And pardon the wind noise, but improvisational stop. I'm directly west of Montgomery, Alabama at a Boondockers Welcome spot. A fellow called Bama Man, and it's a great spot with a riverfront beach and a bench to sit here and contemplate road miles and solar panels and work camping and all that kind of stuff. Woo-hoo. Crossing over into the FLA Visitor Center, closed, bathrooms open. Headed through Florida onto Mariana. It's only 68 degrees, which is perfect. A little cool for this time of the year, but it was cold up my previous couple of stops at Harvest Host, Boondockers Welcome, etc., and moonstacking at the Camper Life Seminar and Party Festival up there in Pikeville, Tennessee. What? 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 I'm not picking your toys up off the floor for you. You threw your toys. You threw them on the floor. You pick up your own toys. Don't give me that dog attitude. Now you're knocking blankets down. Oh, eat that. Yeah, that's great.
Wanted to kind of, become self-sufficient, which is a romantic idea. I learned about lavender. It was the concept, like an 8-acre farm was telling me that they were making over $1 million a year. Okay, even a small percentage of that was more money than I had seen for 11 years of serving in the military.
Exactly.
Okay, so I was like, yes, tell me more, right?
Yeah, how do
you
I
have my
start?
attention.
But,
Whole different market.
Exactly.
Tourism, agritourism,
Yeah.
so before you even harvest it, the marketability of it is much grander than it would be for cotton, tobacco, or any of the other crops in Florida. So that was appealing to me. The challenge here is that one, our soil has a lot of phosphates. Okay, so you've got to figure out how to kind of combat that.
Yeah, but the soil here is not much at all, is it?
No, it's basically sand with, virtually no living matter. Like if you put down a weed fabric and you kill what's on the surface, there's really no organic material in the soil. We've started doing things with like endofungi or mycorrhizals, different things like that to break down the phosphates in the soil. Right now we're switching varieties. So we started in 2018 with a variety called Phenomenal. And then we basically tested a variety called Sensational over the past 2 years that did very, very well. And now we're basically replacing the Phenomenal with Sensational so that those will be in bloom come fall. Women have asked us, or people have asked us, like, are we going to host weddings? And,
you need brides' places.
Where are they going to get ready? A porta potty? Probably not so much.
No, not so much. You're going to need a mobile home for it. Yeah.
So we want to be able to do that. I think once we get the hard structures in, or kind of get the flow down, then it begins the landscape.
Yeah, that's neat. Look at all those.
Yeah, it smells wonderful too.
We can walk down here.
Yeah.
So I dig a hole that's probably about 2 feet deep, and I fill it with, I guess the soil that we're starting to use now is called Kellogg's, and it's potting soil and raised garden bed soil.
Okay.
And we basically fill the hole with that. Normally what I like to do is I'll take the plug, I'll dip the root ball of the plug in water to moisten it, and then I'll apply the mycorrhizals to the root ball. Now the cool thing about that is it's not a fertilizer, so you can't put down too much. They just kind of stay dormant or incubate until it's time to wake up. So as the roots develop, then those come alive and they form a symbiotic mutualistic relationship with the roots, seek out and find food that would otherwise be unavailable to the plant, processes it, breaks down the phosphates which build up in the soil, and it helps with the uptake of water. So it's really solving two problems for us, right? Because it's eliminating the phosphates and it's absorbing more of the water. Well, the rocks reflect light.
I was wondering if that's to keep it cooler.
Aids in photosynthesis, but because it's white rock, it doesn't absorb heat the same way as dark rock does. So it keeps the temperatures beneath the ground slightly cooler. Okay. And when like summer comes around, and the goal is you raise your lawnmower an inch or so, and that slows the evaporation of moisture from the soil.
Are you cut it all down, or how do you harvest it? And
so we use basically what looks like a tea harvester, but it's kind of built and shaped to harvest lavender as well. And what that does is it's basically a metal frame with 4 bike tires, one on each corner, and with a hedger mounted to it that's got a strong curve to it.
Okay.
And the tires basically follow the tracks.
Okay.
So the tire would go, one tire would be here,
right.
The other one would be over here, and you just push it over the row, and as it cuts, the lavender falls into kind of like a parachute bag.
And what's the, I guess you're just using the flower, or what's the main crop that you're getting off?
You're not taking the plant off, you're trimming the plant off.
Yeah, the idea is you can trim the plant off, but honestly, you can pull the whole plant and still pull it.
I was going to say that, yeah.
You know, the leaves, like those little green leaves, okay, you can use that the same way you use rosemary. Okay?
Yeah.
You know, you can use the flowers. A lot of people lean towards the flowers. Now, the easiest way to convert lavender into a usable ingredient for food would be to take the flowers or the buds themselves, like a half a teaspoon or what you would put in a tea ball, and you would steep it in 212 degrees, which is the rolling boil temperature, for 5 minutes, and you've basically extracted, you know, the flavor of the lavender, and you've created a tea which can help with digestive issues, and people love it. But now you have this tea, okay? Now that it's a liquid, you can literally use that to replace the water portion of any recipe you can imagine. So like that Duncan Hines lemon cake recipe, right, that calls for water. You just use tea in the place of it, and you can use that in countless recipes. This hooks up to the propane tank. Some people, they'll put like cornstarch paste and all that. To me, that's a mess, and it's just a mess. So I don't even worry about all that. But I hook it up, I fire it up. Meanwhile, we got a hose that comes from the well, the one that he's using there. That hooks here, and then this fills up with water.
Right.
Once it reaches here, the water just overflows. This is the condenser. All this does is basically cool the pipes, which helps. So when this fires up, 212 degrees, rolling boil temperature, you start seeing steam. Well, once that starts, 20 minutes, we're out of water. Okay, so you got to be careful not to overrun it, because you'll end up burning everything in there, and you'll have barbecue scented oil. Now, as the steam travels up through here, it's encased in a little worm coil in there, condenses back to a liquid.
I mean, it's basically a still. I mean, you know.
And then it comes out the back, which is a parrot spout. We put it we collect it in basically a jug.
Right.
And we take inside, we have to use a separatory funnel to separate. And depending on what we're making for our customers, the FDA has these guidelines on what the legal allowable limits are, right? So if it's something that's left on the skin, right, body sprays, stuff like that, it's not supposed to exceed 2% per volume. If it's something like a soap or shampoo or something that you're going to be rinsing off the skin, typically the allowable limit's 5%.
You got full hookups back here?
Well, we got power.
Well,
okay, and then water, sometimes we can do water, like he's using the water right now.
Okay.
So
smells
this
good.
is standard with pipe, okay?
Yeah.
This is wider than the rope.
Right.
So there's really shouldn't be any issue backing in. Free firewood,
That's
free
crazy.
Wi-Fi. We offer free farm fresh eggs, first come, first serve. So that's all dependent on whether the hens lay their eggs or not.
Yeah.
These are our pads. This is a standard 10 by 20 pad. It's got
Was that concrete?
nice coating on it.
Terrazzo.
That's awesome.
Then we got your standard picnic table back here.
Brand new grill. Look at that.
And you got your grills. So we season the grills for you. But
How-
basically,
How long have you guys been hosting?
since July 23rd of 2021.
Okay.
Or 2020.
Okay, so not too long. That's awesome.
And then put the amp electric. So each spot has its own outlet and its own breaker. So there's no degradation down the line. If yours goes out, it's
Yeah.
not like you got to worry about anybody else's going out. So we got 3 of these.
That's great. And you just have, like, if somebody just wants to dry camp?
Then we have an overflow select. If someone, one of the smaller vehicles and they need some power, we got 20 amp power.
And how much did you say you charged them? The first night was complimentary?
So first night is free,
Wow.
unless they use electric. Now we do charge 15. Now when the new year comes around, we're probably going to raise the price of the electric to $20.
Yeah,
Just
that's
because
still-
we have other expenses.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But we do have 2 pull-throughs, actually 3 pull-throughs, but 2 with sites. We're working on improving this. So we got 2 pull-throughs, but if we're booked and someone needs a place, we have them pull through right here in the little area in front of our house.
Very nice.
And if somebody just wants to park and not use any utilities, like over here in the grass or
There's no
something?
utilities over
Yeah.
there. But we have overflow
Yeah.
parking in the back.
That's great.
This is really nice. And it smells good, which is, I figured it'd be awesome to stop by.
The only drawback is like sometimes when we have people back here, the roosters,
Whatever.
but it's a farm.
Yeah. Isn't that the experience part of it?